Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and with Predator Badlands dropping next month, that's right, we're basically a month away from the release of Badlands, and of course, we already had Killer of Killers, which came out after Prey. The question was, where did Prey 2 go? Is it still happening? Well, it is still happening, but the producer has now explained why Prey 2 didn't happen first instead of Badlands. And we're going to take a look at it because apparently it seems to be this, what they're calling a simple answer, but at the same time, it's kind of like, that's a bit of a cop-out. But let's have a look at all of this and we'll break it down. So, ever since the credits rolled on Prey, a lot of people have been asking one simple question: when are we getting the sequel? And now the question is, why was Prey 2 pushed aside for a new standalone adventure? Well, the producer has finally broken the silence, and the reason is both simple and, for many fans, a little frustrating. It all comes down to one man, director Dan Trachtenberg. After the success of Prey, 20th Century Studio didn't just ask him what he wanted to do next, they basically handed him the keys to the entire Predator kingdom. And his answer wasn't just Prey 2. It came back with a slate of ideas so ambitious and creatively demanding that it's physically impossible to do them all at once. The delay of Naru's next chapter isn't because of a lack of interest, it's because the creative force behind it is busy building a whole new universe. To get why Badlands jumped the line, you have to understand the creative explosion that happened in Dan Trachtenberg's mind after Prey became a runaway hit. According to 20th Century Studios president Steve Asbell, when Trachtenberg came back after the success of Prey, he expectantly said he didn't want to just make Prey 2 right away. Instead, he pitched a flurry of really crazy but really cool ideas. This wasn't the director turning his back on his own success. This was a visionary artist grabbing a once-in-a-career shot to expand the world, not just continue one story. Trachtenberg himself has been pretty open about this. He questioned the knee-jerk fan demand for immediate sequels, explaining that the magic of Prey was its fresh, unexpected concept. He felt that just doing another solo survival tale would be repeating himself, and he was hungry to tell a completely different kind of story. This led to him juggling multiple Predator projects, a decision he admitted felt like a game of hopscotch. The obvious reason for the delay then is pure production reality. A single director, even one as gifted as Trachtenberg, can only be in so many places at once. To make sure both Badlands and the eventual Prey sequel get the focus they deserve, one had to go first, the studio trusting his vision backed a bold new idea. So, what exactly is Predator Badlands? The movie that put Naru's journey on pause? This isn't just another hunt, it's a huge swing for the fences. The film is set far in the future on a remote planet, and for the first time in live action film, it makes a predator the protagonist. So we know all of that stuff. However, what did the actual producer say about why they went for Badlands first instead of Prey 2? This is what they told Screen Rant during that set visit that Screen Rant did, where we found out that the movie will be PG-13. So the producer said this is why Badlands came first. One of the things that was most important to Dan and to me, and what attracted me to Prey, is that it was something unexpected. It was something that people hadn't done with the franchise before. So I think in thinking about what to do next, Dan was really set on, how do we do the next thing and not make it expected? And I think it had been in the back of his mind, and he sort of searched for what that could be. It's like, well, this is the kind of big swing that no one's taken yet. You could have done a Prey where it's, okay, here's a different time period. But I think for us, we were like, how do we move things forward? So basically, what we're being told here is the reason Prey 2 has been put on the back burner for Badlands was they wanted to try and do something completely different and, as they say, unexpected. That they want you not to expect what's coming and, oh, you never saw this type of thing before. Unfortunately, with Badlands, we have seen something like that before. Not completely, but in AVP, the first one, you can't argue that we saw a predator team up with a human. Now, granted, in Badlands, it's not a human, it's a synthetic, but at the same time, they're teaming up. Yeah, there's an awful lot of differences, of course, like with Badlands being set in the future, the fact that the Youches are speaking, especially with Deck's voice, good God, and all that stuff, that's all fine. But you're not really showing us stuff that we've never witnessed before. So I don't know quite what they think is like totally unexpected. So that's where I'm kind of saying it's a bit of a cop-out to kind of say, I just didn't want to do the same thing. I kind of wanted to push forward with something completely different. And the problem is we're seeing what he's doing different because, of course, Killer Killers gave us a hint of that. And what did they rely on then after it came out to go back and put into it? The original stuff. Oh, look, here's Dutch and here's Harrigan and stuff. And it's like, wow, so as far forward as you were trying to go, you still went right back to the well. So what exactly can we expect in Badlands to show up? Like, that last trailer is not a good trailer, to say the least. That trailer with speaking of the Youches in it, that's going to turn people off. And then to find out that it's PG-13 as well, it's like, oh, what does this all mean for Prey 2 now at this stage? Like, what do they do? And did they kind of dig themselves into a bit of a hole by putting, not even in the extended edition of Killer of Killers, but the actual released edition, which had Naru in the frozen container thing at the end in stasis? It's like, so is this full canon? Like, are you saying that the next story for Prey won't pick up with her and her people trying to escape what the end credits showed was going to be this invasion of Youches? Or are they trying to say that it would be set in the future? Because that's also a cop-out then, if he's saying, oh, I didn't just want to do Prey 2 because I didn't want to repeat myself, when you were clearly setting up that she would be taken, put in stasis, and who knows what exactly time period we're in with that movie. So it's a bit of a cop-out because you're clearly going to have her in the future at some stage. So I don't know. I think it's a very strange kind of answer to say, oh, we just wanted to do something different. But at the same time, they are still working with Prey 2, at least until Badlands comes out and we see what that does. Now, Prey 2 probably has no chance of being put out on the big screen. Why would it? It wasn't made for the big screen the first time. Well, actually it was, but they got cold feet and dumped it onto Hulu. So they would have to do that again, because it would be so strange to put out Prey 2 on the big screen and people would be sitting there going, well, where the hell was Prey 1? So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But if Badlands flops, and let's be honest here, all the indications are starting to point that this thing is going to be a massive flop, especially when people get word that the thing is PG-13, that thing's done. What do they do? Where do they go? Do they continue with the franchise? Do they continue with Dan Trachtenberg? Or do they just start making it all for Disney Plus, which I think could be even worse? We'll find out, I suppose. So let me know what you guys think of this. Why Prey 2 didn't happen before Badlands. And what do you think about Badlands being kind of the key to the whole thing? Will it collapse? Will it succeed? Let us know your thoughts. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.